thank you all for joining the room. So I'm going to dive straight in and tell you a bit about how I got to where I am. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent. I think I mentioned that earlier. I was born in the UK, but my parents are from Uganda. I was actually one of the very few Asian students in my school and in my background, and I spent a lot of time obviously at school, like we all do, and I really, as I said, enjoyed maths. So I spent my school time really focusing on the maths and the sciences. Not that I didn't like anything else, I did. I really liked English in every subject, but you know, maths really caught my eye. I come from a background of scientists, so my sister's a physicist and my other sister's a doctor, so they wouldn't say maths is the best subject, but obviously for me it is. So they kind of ran in our family as well, but growing up as an Indian girl in Stoke-on-Trent with not many other Asians was actually very hard, because we were the only two in the school, me and my sister. My other sister's a lot older, and there was a lot of racism and a lot of bigotry. You know, you didn't get the same opportunities, you weren't really given the same chances, and separately to that, you know, there was a lot of shouting and bullying as you walked home from school, bricks thrown at our windows. So there was a lot of resilience, I guess, needed to survive in that sort of environment and know that you could still achieve things. As part of that, my father also died when I was a little girl, and in Asian families, I don't know how many of you know, but in Asian families, a lot of them, many of them, can be very male orientated. So I grew up in a background where I was told, similar to Simon in some ways, where girls couldn't achieve anything. Why did you have all girls? All of that sort of methodology because my mum only had girls. All of that sort of information coming at us all the time. And like Simon, that just made me want to prove myself more, because girls can do anything. And my mum used to want all boys, because again, Indian mothers, boys are the ones that they wanted in that day and age. And now, you know, so many years on, she's like, thank God I had 3 girls. They look after me. They're the ones that have achieved success. They're the one, you know, look at all these boys. And there's nothing wrong with boys, but, you know, and boys are great. But I really want you to take away that girls can do anything. And all it takes is some hard work and some focus. Not that you shouldn't enjoy yourselves as well, but just trying to keep some focus on those things. I decided to do maths at university, and not everyone wants to go to university, and not everyone needs to, but it's a great experience, and doing maths was fantastic because, again, there was so much to learn from it. And it just opened up so many doors. So when you're thinking about what you might want to study or where you want to go, think about not narrowing your field so much that you can't, you're so special, like you can't pick and choose and drop something later and choose to do something else. So if I had not wanted to carry on with maths in my job, I could have done basically any other job and it would have been still okay, other than like medicine or something. And that's one of the reasons why I chose it. And since then, I've really moved forward with, you know, having different jobs, just trying to work myself up the ladder in a very male-dominated society, but still managed to do it. So that's something I'm really keen on. And I run a team now in AIG of over 90 people that report into me. I manage quite a large premium volume of business, like $10 billion. And I'm on the executive committee, and I'm one of the few women. So, as I said, girls can do anything. They can get there. They just got to not let the knockbacks, and they will happen as you go through your career, get you down. I do have some photos to share with you, which I will do, and then I want to make sure I give you some time for some questions. So going to share my screen. I even included some baby photos to show you that I didn't come from exactly the most luxurious background in the world. We've got our bunk bed sitting there on the right. And this is me and my sister. I'm sure she was pinching me. And but then this is me and my team. So this is me presenting to my team in London. When we were talking about different things, getting the whole team together. And I also spend a lot of time doing talks. So I did a talk at the Insider Progress, again, about helping women in the workplace and trying to help, build up, trying to get more women at higher senior levels. I actually sponsor a student at Loughborough University who can't afford to pay all of their fees in a STEM subject, so specifically in a STEM subject. Loughborough is where I went to university, and I also won this 2018 Women to Watch Award, which I was really proud of, and now I'm on the board of that. There's a charity that goes with that, and I joined the board, and that charity works to support cervical cancer tests in developing nations where they also have issues around why would a woman want a cervical cancer smear test and things like that. Is it because they've been having, they have a very poor education program around sex education and that, so it brings a stigma with it. So with that, please ask me any questions. I should have said ask as you go along.
Hi, I have a question. So obviously you've faced a great deal of adversity and challenges to get to where you are at this point. Like you were saying, from racism to sexism to your loss and everything in between. But I was wondering, like, to find that resilience, did you have any coping mechanisms or support systems that you found to be the most helpful, or was it more of like an internal battle for you?
No, I did have coping mechanisms. My family a very good close coping mechanism, and I know not everyone has those things. I was lucky in that respect, but I didn't have my friends very much because, again, there was that difficulty making friends in that closed society. So I relied on my family, but relying on your friends, I think, is really important, and people around you, and letting yourself that you're going to be, if you have something going wrong, you're going to be upset in the time, but let yourself be upset, and then but realize, like, always trying to put perspective on things, that nothing is the end of the world and you can always kind of pick yourself back up. And there's lots of techniques you can use around that. Largely not thinking black and white about everything. If something goes wrong, well, then everything's always going to go wrong for me forever. And just trying to use those techniques to stop me thinking like that, I think, is quite powerful.